Michelle here. So this is just a candid, real quick video. We have been so incredibly busy. We haven't had a chance to make any videos lately. We just have 2 kids and they are in sports. I have a soccer player and I had a football player in the fall, and we just have a lot going on. So I just thought, okay, spontaneously, I have been, and normally I don't clean outside, but the weather is so beautiful. Look at it. It's so beautiful outside, and it's still real breezy, and there's not too many flies or anything like that. So I just thought, I want to be outside today. So this is one of our breeder bins. We're going to go ahead and sort these adults out, separate the babies. And you can see that they've been having a lot of babies. So if you guys need any smalls, we are in stock for, well, these are like newborn and like smalls, but we have a lot available on our website. If for some reason you guys ever get on our website and you don't see a quantity or anything like that that you need, or we also sell starter kits. You know, these are bugs and they do take time, and sometimes we have to put things out of stock to let things regrow. So that's just part of breeding. So sometimes we need to put things out of stock so that way, but we upload our stock very frequently. So you just want to make sure that you check it out often. And we really enjoy our customers. We're really appreciative. Look at this mama just hiding out. She's like, if I'm still, you won't see me. And I see you guys in there. So you want to try, I'm going to just kind of talk a little bit to the people who buy our colonies, because they sometimes, even though we give them a kind of like a DIY instructional page of how to have a colony and all that kind of stuff, and most of you guys are not doing this to to breed like we are and sell them. And I will just have to say that if you are thinking about doing that, it is an incredible amount of work, and it's just really a lot of work. It's a lot of money. Oops. And so just really think long and hard, because it takes a lot of money. Imagine how expensive these bugs are. Imagine you having to buy tons and tons of them to breed. It does. So I'm not trying to discourage anybody. I think if that's what you want to do, that's amazing. But just know it's not so easy. But I want to speak to the people who have been bought a colony from us recently, and you're kind of asking questions about, well, how many times should I sort them? How should I, like, you're just mainly buying a starter kit because you have some bearded dragon or, reptiles, amphibians, and tarantulas like us. We have quite a few different reptiles and stuff. So I don't recommend that you sort because this is extremely, we don't like to do it that often. The most we'll do it, the frequency would be like maybe once a month, if we try to even go out further than that, because what happens is these guys get very stressed. The adults get very stressed. The ladies might drop their eggs. Their egg, it's called a ootheca. If I see one, I'll point it out. But sometimes you might see that if you get one. Hopefully not, but you might see that if you get one where the oothecas are falling off, and sometimes that's a humidity thing, but other times it's just, they're stressed, especially if they went from traveling and things like that. So we don't recommend you stress out your colony very often unless you have a reason to, kind of like us, like you're trying to separate things and get them, because we have different bins, because of course we have to separate smalls, mediums, larges, extra larges, adults, and we have special bins that are just for extra larges, and we pull, when we sell a colony, we pull some freshly molted males and females out of that. That way we know we're giving you guys, we don't take them out of this bin, in other words. Because you guys are going to want to have bugs that are sexually mature. Oh, there's a ootheca. So I'm gonna try to pick her up very carefully. Don't want to hurt her, freak her out. I don't want her to, you know, be too stressed. Come here, little girl. Oh, little girl. It's okay. It's okay. I talk to them like babies. I know, I'm weird. You see the babies inside there? Alright, let me see. See if I can just go ahead and put her in a special place. Because I don't want her to... So, you know, this is a little complicated. Moose, get out of there. Dog is always way too... I'm going to put her over here for now. There we go. Get out of there. You're just too much, Moose. I'm going to put you... get out of there. Leave that girl... Oh, hold on one second. Okay, so I just put her over here in my little... And these are our sorting... usually what we use. We were trying to come up with a little bit better of a way. But this is what we use when we're doing our big bins for sorting. But different people do it different ways. But let's look at her up close. And inside of that Utheka, they put it out and they twist it around and they kind of air it out, control temperature and all that good stuff. So, and then they pull it back in their body. So she's doing that, but do you see the babies in there? It's kind of translucent right now, so I'll leave her alone. I don't want to stress her out. But back to the stressing out thing, you don't want to sort your bugs too often. What we recommend what we do is we have a separate container, kind of like a shoebox container that we put our feeders in. So, you know, when you first get a colony, you should expect about 4 to 6 months of not even touching that colony. So, I mean, if you want every few months to go ahead and just kind of clean it out because it'll get real dirty like this, guys. And you want to remove any dead, because these are bugs and they're going to die. I mean, we cannot guarantee you that a bug, a living creature, is not as some reason or other. Their life cycles are not very long. Males are about a year to 18 months and females are about 2 years. But you know, sometimes they die before that, guys. So you're going to want to not stress them out too much by doing all this sorting, but you're going to want to leave them alone. You know, like if you get a colony from us, leave them alone. And one of these, this is probably bigger than you need. You'd probably need, that's an 18-gallon right there. So an 18-gallon, and get 1 or 2 starter kits, depending on how many reptiles and such that you want to feed. The more animals you have and stuff like that, probably you need to keep adding every few months another starter kit until you get to that point. But if you have one bearded dragon, I think 1 colony is fine. But realize that it is going to take a good 4 to 6 months for it to start growing out in such a way and making babies that, you know, it's going to start being more sustainable for your reptiles around that 6, even sometimes a year. It just really depends on, you know, how you're taking care of them, the husbandry. So you just want to make sure that you do think about, sometimes people think, oh, I'm going to get a colony and I'm going to just start having all these bugs. Well, yes, you will have bugs, but it takes time, you guys. It takes 2 months from the time one of these females gets pregnant for it to even, you know, give live birth, like that girl over here, okay? She's been pregnant like that for 2 months. So it takes some time for them to have babies, and then you see how tiny they are. Okay, these are not even really super newborn. They come super tiny when they're born, and they take and go through many instars, which is molting. And so if you have a bearded dragon, let's say an adult, you probably feed medium to large, and it's going to take several months for, you know, it takes about 4 or 5 from birth, about 4 to 5 months to become an adult. So think about that, from birth. So, you know, and also in other videos I pointed out that roaches are like people in the sense that they come in all different shapes and sizes and colors. There's just like different genes on them. And so some of them are, you know, take a little time to get bigger. So I can have all these and put like all these newborns, let's say, in a shoebox sized container. And, you know, a month later or 2 months later, I'll probably have like small mediums or mediums, but I'll have a few that are large. And that's because they all grow at different sizes. Some get really big right away and some don't. So, oh, I didn't even see here. All right, so let me get to doing this and I'll think about what else I want to talk to you guys about. Okay, so I've gotten a majority of the adults out. I have to sort these now and separate the babies because you can see the babies are in there. See them? But yeah, they're all in there and the babies are hiding all in the mixture. So I have the tough task of separating the babies. Now, something I see all the time is, you know, questions about should I separate the babies from the adults from my breeding colony. And I would say that is not, like I said already, just don't mess with it. In our opinion, you shouldn't mess with it. Let them, you know, grow out. It's really hard to try to separate the little ones from the big ones, and so I would, at least for about 4 to 6 months, depending on how many animals you have, you might want to even go longer, where you just don't really mess it. You just let it become a really huge colony of all different sizes, and then at some point when you feel like a large amount of these smalls, the first smalls that you have, probably within, you might get a colony and have some pregnant females in it right away having babies, or it might take a few months, guys. You never can tell. I try to give pregnant females when I see them, freshly molted females, big mature females like these gals, okay, but sometimes I can't tell that they're pregnant unless they have that ootheca sticking out. I can't tell. So it may take a while. So what I suggest is just leave them alone altogether. Let the little ones that you see grow to at least a medium size, or the size that you would really be needing for your reptiles and animals. And then at that time, you guys go ahead and sort them, you know, making sure to separate them and put them in the little shoebox. Until that time, I would just keep buying feeders, you know, because if you're feeding off what you're trying to grow out, then you're not going to have a very productive feeder colony. And that is just common, honest sense, you know, honestly. If you are getting a colony and you start feeding out the smalls or mediums right away, you know, then you're going to run out pretty quickly. And so if you have a lot of animals to feed, I would say get a starter colony, and then maybe in about 2 to 3 months, get another starter colony, or buy a starter colony. That's a little bit more affordable than buying a whole bunch of starter colonies at once. Just buy one every few months, or even one a month, until you get to the production number that you would want, you know? So let's say you have 300 of these females. That's going to get you probably about in the 2,000 to 3,000 range, hypothetically, with everything being good, with your setup and stuff, and feeding them and not being neglectful, leaving them alone, hypothetically 2,000 to 3,000 a month. But you know what? Getting that many dubia is really expensive, you guys, especially adults. So if you just start off with 1 colony or 2 colonies, and then every few months or every 3 to 4 months add another colony, eventually you'll get to that point where it'll start producing a lot more for you. And but like I said, you might just need only one colony, and you can get to this size within a year or so. And then you'll be so overrun with them that you won't know what to do with yourself. So, okay, so as you can see, some of them do die off, okay, like I mentioned earlier. So you can see some in here. I haven't messed with this colony for a little bit. You want to be careful when you put fruit. Now, we give oranges to our breeder bins, but you don't want to leave it in too long because then it can get some mold on it, and that is not good. So you want to take that out and make sure you're like keeping tabs, you know what I mean? Like you're keeping tabs on that so that you're not letting mold infest your colony. So that would be terrible because they'll all get sick and die. So we feed ours carrots. The breeders, we give them, like I said, oranges. And anything basically like greens, mustard greens, turnip greens, that kind of good stuff. But yeah, some of them end up just dying, and that's just old age, you know, or stress. So sometimes they can get stressed out and they can die. Even during travel, they can die, you guys. They're live animals. So just, if you leave them alone, typically though, they do pretty well. They just need to be fed. They need to have some hydration, quiet. They tend to like the dark, but I don't know how much of a myth that is because they also seem to do just fine in like brightness. But anyways, I hope that you guys are enjoying this and finding this informational. I'm gonna finish moving these guys and sorting, and I found another pregnant female over here. I try to not put them over there in that bin when I find them, and I also found a male who has just molted. So I'm letting him be away from the others. But there's that one. And then the other one's probably hiding underneath. There she is. All right, let me get finished because I gotta go get my kids. It's a soccer night, so we're gonna have to go to a game. All right, I am going to be putting these males and females now into a new bin. I'm actually gonna put them in a bigger bin, this bin right here, but I need to clean it out first. But for now, I'm just gonna put them in here until I get a chance to do all of my cleaning. So let's see if I can show you me doing that somehow. But they look ready to go in their home. They're being, guys, you're being so fast. All right, in order, it would be really easier for me to just dump this in there, but do you see how many there are? This is actually very, very heavy, so unless I want to have Dubia adults running all over my house, which I don't, I'm going to do this to make life easier on me. And then I'm just going to transfer them like that. I'm getting some babies still in there, and that's okay. I don't need to have all of them, but I'm going to do that real quick. So when we suggest, when you buy one of our colonies, we suggest a 1 male to 4 female ratio, and that's how you'll get them, along with mixed nymphs. So I've already counted all of these, and I know my ratio is good. So that would just make too long of a video, and we've already done those type of videos. If y'all want to check out our Dubia playlist, we have them on there. Okay, y'all have a great day. Make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see more of these type of things. Have a blessed day.